too far. Sure. Get closer so we don't walk around. Crazy around, just keep super quiet. Hopefully we don't spook them.
How did you get into hunting?
Well, it was my hubby actually. He wanted me to get into it so we could do something together. So I'd go out with him and enjoy the bushwalks and the fresh air, but I wouldn't like the animal side of hunting.
Tui Keenan, mother of 5, staunch coastie, and now hardcore hunter.
But one day he was so romantic. He packed a tent and a bottle of champagne, and it was New Year's Eve, and we sat out there and we set some goals for the new year. And I said, babe, I'm going to get into hunting this year. So the next week later, there I was doing it.
And you've been hooked since?
Hooked since. And we made another New Year's resolution of let's not buy meat for a whole year and see if we can do it. And we did it.
Wow.
Yeah, we called it Operation Fill the Freezer.
Wow.
Today, Tui's helping a couple of wahine, Carol and Rita, fill their freezers too, from this chunk of East Coast bush.
Also do trips when we're in the bush to protect our native blue duck, the fuel. So it's a multitasking trip when us wahine go out, because we're great multitaskers, eh, ladies?
Their parents from the school where Tui works, a kura where kids aren't her only students.
I've got a passion to work with whānau and create healthy whānau.
She's fulfilling a personal mission, one that's environmental, practical and spiritual, a journey she began 5 years ago.
What's it like for you to be able to explore and connect with the whenua that your tipuna once foraged and hunted in?
I grew up in Christchurch, connected to my Pākehā side. My dad's from Somerset, England, and I learnt from a very young age to not learn about my Māori side because it's important to live in the Pākehā world. And so coming here as an adult and learning my Māori side through the bush, through the land, it's been an incredible journey and one I'm really proud of.
Every trip is a learning experience. Deer are hard animals to hunt. They're skittish and stealthy, but the impact they have on the bush is clear.
It does sadden me when I go into some parts of the bush and I can't hear the birds. So this is our supplejack plant, and at the end of them grows bush asparagus. So the deer have eaten this one. They're quite tasty, so I haven't had a feed of bush asparagus for about a year now. The deer are always beating me to it.
There, coming down, right there.
Right where?
Down there, there's heaps.
I understand the ecosystem. I understand we need to, as hunters, get our deer numbers down, be selective of what we shoot, shoot the hinds instead of the stags. But I don't call them pests. I find that hard to call deer pests because that's my food source and that's my community's food source. So deer to me are a taonga, and I like to respect them and kill them ethically.
The savage nor'easterlies give these animals a whiff of human scent. And they're off again. It's a game of patience, this hunting business.
Turn your red eyes on. It's way better over here, eh?
Yeah.
Less wind. Look at that view. Aotearoa. Stunning. It's like a postcard, eh?
You had it.
Oh, so what's the highlight for you when we go hunting, Carol?
Being in the bush. Just getting away from everything and resetting.
And away from the housework.
Yeah. Not a bit of worry.
So what we'll do is we'll come over here. We'll get down home. Come on. It's down.
Is this usually what you guys do when you come out to the bush?
Oh no, this is luxury.
Putting it on for me, eh?
Oh yeah, of course. Five star treatment. No, we usually pack minimal gear because we've got to carry it in. Sometimes we're walking up to 5 hours, eh, ladies?
Yeah.
It's the camaraderie of these trips, the sharing of stories, triumphs, troubles, laughs, the pushing outside of their comfort zones that's had a huge impact on Carol and Rita.
One of the kaupapa tū talks about is hand up, not hand out.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're learning through
Yeah,
this
most
journey?
definitely. Yeah. Being able to learn the skills and getting the tools to be able to provide for the whānau is massive. It kind of reminds me of growing up, being up the coast. It was like easy to access, going hunting in there. Where being in town, it's not the same. You can't just, go and do it.
You right, farmer? Yeah.
Waikirikiri Kura in Gisborne suburb of Kaiti, a Decile 1 bilingual school that prides itself in embracing students irrespective of their challenges.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, look.
Here, knowing where your kai comes from is as important as any core subject.
Would you rather sit in a classroom or do this?
Do this.
Yeah, oh, that was a fast answer.
Hold this, please.
Good job. So clean job, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Awesome, farmer. Good work.
From the hills to the school, a community-led kaupapa, wild organic venison sourced from 1083 bush is donated, and the local MPI-certified butcher processes the carcasses to be distributed to whānau in need.
It's our version of a My Food bag, and instead of giving out food parcels to families in need, we call it the hand up approach, where families subscribe for $10 a week and they get a box of pantry staples that gets delivered every week. And because at school we have a food bank containing all the meat that's been MPI certified, we chuck in a freebie bag of organic meat to go alongside these other ingredients.
Yeah, thank you, bro. You have that one. This is way better than Macazane.
It's crispy,
Yeah,
it's delicious,
that's delicious.
and you gotta try it.
And you always you're on farmer. Was like the deer that you were skinning just before too, eh? That's pretty cool, eh? What do you reckon, Emily? Nice. It's pretty solid in here.
The Department of Conservation is keen to foster this type of kaupapa around the country, Ben Reddick says.
Tui's work is fantastic, and I really do want to as acknowledge that there's a range of others that are playing in that space as well, and we're connecting with the Ministry of Social Development around what some of the opportunities are. So I think there's something in the space that we haven't quite unlocked around at scale.
But Doc says it'll only work in areas where deer are easily accessible and where it's economically feasible to get them out of the bush and processed.
When we've done work in Fiordland, unless it's heavily resourced, it's really just not economic to be shooting animals and bringing them out. It's about 3 to 4, closer to 4 times more expensive.
Actual deer numbers are unknown, but it's estimated over 230,000 of them are shot every year. That's by both recreational and commercial hunters. And while that sounds a lot, many more than that are born.
People need to look to the forest first. They need to shoot deer until they start to see less deer.
Commercial hunter Jordan Munn.
The more people that have the ability to go and shoot some deer, the better. And if they can utilize that resource in the process, that's a win-win, right? So I really like those initiatives. But if they shoot 1 out of 6 deer, they're not doing it for the environment. Yeah, it's important that we go beyond, personal desires, which is to shoot a set of antlers or to shoot some meat and actually start taking a more management approach.
Then is it possible to manage deer in our forest parks?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big challenge across the country, and it'll take different approaches in different places, working with different people. If we can collaborate well with a range of parties, with support, for example, through budget investment this year, which has given us an extra 30 million over 4 years to start scaling up our deer management and goat control, I'm optimistic that we can make a difference.
Do you think New Zealand has too many deer?
Yes, I think we do. I'd like to see more hunters out there.
Demand for wild venison in Tui's community is growing,
Do they have a taste test though? No.
and so is the support for her kaupapa.
We have a great community of hunters and farmers that donate this wild meat for the cause, and all it's cost us is one bullet and a whole lot of fun and a whole lot of well-being being uplifted.
Kārawe. Well, DOG recently released a framework for introduced species management, the Araki Mua. The plan is to work with Mana Whenua and the Game Animal Council to have deer removed from high priority forests by 2050. E haere ake nei, the night 202 innocent people lost their